Alright, this time we're going to be making the linkage arm. This goes along with our linkage peg. So we're going to have a 2D sketch on our XY plane. And I'm going to put it in a rectangle. I'm going to use the 2-point center rectangle. Just make it a little bit easier for this right here. So our first dimension we can actually type in. We don't need to place our rectangle and then put it in. Our first dimension is going to be this length right here, so that is 3.5. And then I can actually press tab on my keyboard to flip to the other dimension, and that is going to be our width dimension right here. So that is right there. So 0.25. And then I can press enter on my keyboard. Right now I can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to also press home on the keyboard. And now I'm going to use my circle. So for my circle, I want to make sure I get this green dot right here, so it's clipped in the center of this line. And I am going to type in, well, this is going to be a diameter instead of a radius. So I have the number for the radius, so I'm going to type that in first. And this right here is the radius I'm talking about. This is the diameter that we're going to be using when we're cutting the holes into our part, so this is the one we're using. It is 0.1875, and because it's a diameter that we want, not a radius, we're also going to do times 2. So it's going to be double the radius, which is the diameter. Okay. If you notice that your circle is inside this line, and by that I mean like much, much smaller, then you know you forgot to times 2. We're now going to put in a circle, and I'm going to make this a little bit larger so I can show you something. One thing you could do is make the same dimension. You can click on the dimension tool, and then, oh, I need to zoom out. We can click on this, and then it pulls in the same number, as long as it would actually delete the other stuff. Or, what I can do, oh, see how it has FX? That just kind of means it's referenced somewhere else. So I'm going to delete that. And it's now green again, so I can move it around. Now I'm going to actually show you a constraint. This one's kind of useful. So this one's equal. So I like to use this when I have a bunch of things that are going to be the same size. Instead of having the dimension over and over again and it kind of filling up the screen, I just do equal. So I can click on my circle, click on the other one, and now they're the same size. So if I change this dimension to something else, I'm just going to delete this for a second to show you, they will grow and shrink at the same rate. So it means that if you make a mistake on one, you don't have to go back in and change it for all the other ones. And yep, that's my same dimension from before. Okay, so I can finish and then extrude. So because I have 3 different shapes, Autodesk Inventor is a little confused, so you got to click on all 3 and then it works just fine. And our distance is not 1 inch. Instead, we can look right here. It is actually 1/8 of an inch. And I did not type that number in over here. There should be a 1 right here. Alright, well, it is 0.125. So let me fix that over here for those of you that want it written down. So 0.125. There you go. Now it's fixed. So that's the thickness of our material, or the depth. So now we're going to create another sketch. On here, we're going to use project geometry. Alright, so we have these 2 dots and that center dot right there. What I'm going to do is only put a point on the 2 dots that are in the center of the circles. Now I'm going to do finish sketch and then click on hole. So right now it's actually remembering information before when I did the stack. So if you happen to be doing a lot of these in one day like I am, it's going to pull in the information that you don't actually want. So I want the hole to be a simple hole. I want the seat to be none. I want the termination to actually be through all. And as you can tell, this dimension is way too big. We need to shrink it on down. So that dimension will be right here. That is 0.128. Okay, so that is right there. And we can see that it says through and then TYP. TYP is typical. It means that this side and that side are going to be identical. So we can just click OK, and our part is done.